Hey, you crazy mofos. The creak of the door and the sound of the steps mean one thing. This is Bill Johnson. Leatherface 2, Bubba, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, and you are listening to the Timo and Harley Show. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Timo and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to Timo and Harley Show. I am Timo. Over there is my partner in Mindcrime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben #Harley.
That's me.
How you doing, buddy?
Hashtag handsome. No, someone's got to say it.
Well, I got to spread this stuff out every week, so handsome, it's down there. It's on the list. It's on a list of H's to call you. So
that's right.
2019, Mr. Ben Harley. We are in 2019. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think about that?
Not a whole lot so far because in the space-time continuum, we record the show a week before, so we're recording this on New Year's Eve. Mr. Ben Harley, I don't sound so good. I sound raspy. I've already been drunk for 24 hours straight. Celebrating New Year's Eve, yeah.
Man, you're on a roll.
Well, you know, it's like on Christmas, you buy a bunch of presents, and New Year's, you get really drunk.
That's right.
You know, so I'm just pitching in. I'm going to do my patriotic part.
You're doing your part, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 2019 though. Where's my damn flying car? Still getting mad. You know, I don't see it on the horizon at all.
Right.
What else?
That's about it. We're all waiting for the flying cars. That's all we care about. You know,
yeah. That's right.
Well, Mr. Ben Harley, speaking of flying cars, just want to let you know that we did watch Midnight Madness. This past, actually last night in the Space-Time Continuum. Have you seen Midnight Madness?
I don't think so, Tim. I don't know.
It was like a 1980 Disney, like a scavenger hunt movie, and it starred David Naughton.
Okay, yeah.
And it had, Eddie Deason, the little nerdy guy, Eddie Deason in it. And there was a bunch of teams. And they were going around L.A. basically doing like a scavenger hunt game.
Okay.
Almost in a way. Oh, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Used to be on like show or HBO a whole lot during the day. Stephen Furst is in it from Animal House, Flounder.
Yeah, I've had to see this. I think.
And they
I'm not getting mixed up with Scavenger Hunt, though. The movie, the other movie.
Well, you know what's funny is that I think people do, but I've seen Midnight Madness 100 times more than I've seen Scavenger Hunt the movie, and I've got Scavenger Hunt on Blu-ray, so I know that movie too. Yeah, but this one is more. It's got Michael J. Fox in it as David Naughton's little brother. He's his little brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up, my friend.
Right. So there's your flying car reference as Michael J. Fox in it. Yeah, so get that out of the way.
Flying skateboard.
Right. Right. So. Hey, let's just do some shop here real quick, Mr. Ben Harley. So, you know, I got to keep my high going, my buzz going here.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't linger too long. I've only got a bottled water amount of slow gin here. You know what I mean? So I got to, if I run out, there's going to be problems. I'm going to panic.
Start smashing shit? No, don't do that.
No. I'm going to run and panic in the streets. I'm telling you now. Right. Now, if I panic in my street, I'm probably just going to get shot. They're just going to get me out of the road. That's all there is to it, you know. So.
There's that damn O'Savin kid again.
Somebody will tie some antlers in my head and try to field dress me. So, a little bit of shop here, Mr. Ben Harley. We've been talking about this every week. Vet City Con's coming up here at the end of January in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Look that up at the Corvette Museum. Our good friend Mr. Dead Dick Hammer puts that show on, so we've been going every.
It's gonna be a doozy.
Yes, and we've been saying we really don't go to shows anymore, but we got a couple friends that are doing some smaller shows, and we're enjoying them, and we're out there supporting our friends. So our one good friend, Mr. Dead Dick Hammer, who at this point might be in your bushes staring at you through your windows.
Yeah, through foggy winters.
That's right. Yep. So we got that show coming up. And then at the end of May, if I'm not mistaken, the end of May, we have Retro Invasion Weekend up in Cleveland. Yes. Up in Cleveland, Ohio. And that's
Cleveland rocks.
That's right. Friend. We're going to have our buddy, Mr. Danny Hicks, is going to be there. So they're going to be talking some Intruder. And
that's awesome. I'm glad they're shedding some light on that. And
right.
Yeah, good old school cinema Joe.
That's right. Our other pal.
Yes.
Our other pal.
It on. Yeah.
That's right. So, and then Mr. Bob Kurtzman will be there too, Mr. Ben Harley. So
yes. We'll talk some Bigfoot with him.
We could ask him how that's going.
Films in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Hush, hush.
Absolutely. And he'll be there to support Mr. Danny Hicks too, because he, of course, is a part of the famous K&B Effects that worked on just about damn near everything we talk about for about a 10 to 15 year period, if not more. This everywhere. So looking forward to that. And then Mr. Ben Harley, let's see, February 2nd, once again, Fragile Porcelain Mice, my band, is playing at Delmar Hall for 1057 The Point's Birth Month show.
Birth month.
Yeah, it was a hell of a labor to get that radio station to be birthed.
30 days of labor is a lot.
Have you ever seen a radio station's birth canal? I'm just asking. Ooh. 2019, Mr. Brenner. I can ask anything I want. we have arrived. I can ask whatever the hell I want. It's fine.
That's right.
So we got that coming up there too. Again, February 2nd. Get your tickets for that. Mr. Ben Harley, you had a wrestling event. Could you report back from the wrestling event? How did that go?
It went very well, Tim. We there was a little hiccup in the show, and that's, like I said, I learned at a very young age, Timo, very young, when I could learn to read that on a wrestling card, it might be small in print, but it does say card subject to change.
Oh,
right,
boy.
Timo?
Did it change? Did it change?
So,
it did.
Oh, boy, did it ever change.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we lost about 4 of our wrestlers. They're still alive, Timo.
Oh.
Okay. We didn't lose them like that. So,
okay.
They actually went up to the WWE. They went and worked up there. I don't know if they didn't do any wrestling, but you did a little security and some other things. So God bless them. They got to do that. And, really had to change up the show a little bit. Old Norm Whaler, as I like to refer to him.
He didn't put the tights on, did he? I don't want to see him in the tights. Okay. All right.
No, sir. But he did the old swerve, Timbo. So Norm Waymer is now, he's still not on my side by any means, really. But, he did a little swerve and kind of upset the apple cart a little bit, which was okay for us because we ended up in a match. It was a tag match, a 3-way tag match. It was the Great Circus of Pain.
Yeah.
Against, let me paint you a little picture first.
Okay. All right. Give me do some Bob Ross action for me. 2019 Bob Ross. Let's do it.
2019. So yes, the clowns.
Yeah.
We were down 1 clown, Timo.
Uh-oh.
I hate to report, but one Genghis clown was still reeling from the unprovoked, unnecessary chair shot that he received from History in the Making about a month or so ago. So he was not able to make it. Right.
Oh boy.
So we were down a clown and we had to go do the 3-way tag match. So Kevin had to get in there and wrestle a little. Oh, yeah.
You had to call up the Kevin.
You had to throw Kevin into the,
Well, better than you, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad Kevin was there, let me tell you.
You're the brains, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the beauty, too. So,
Right.
So we ended up taking on Norm Waymer through this match together where Andy Shane had to team up with Sean Casey, which those guys used to be friends, but now they're not. And then History in the Making, and then Pedal the Clown, Kevin and I, really. So I really like to say that Kevin is a technician.
Oh.
But Kevin got used more like a weapon. So, yes, Pedal used him quite proficiently.
What kind? Now, did they use him for like a hockey stick or a spear?
Spear.
Torpedo?
kind of a torpedo spear. He slammed him on a couple guys, and it was quite interesting. It worked out quite well. So there, at the end, though, poor Kevin got another one of the history in the making moves, but Pedal the Clown and the Potentate being, the professionals we are, we came to the rescue of Kevin as well. Let's just say Andy Shane tried to give Kevin a pile driver like he did Sean Casey turned on him, which kicked. We didn't really turn on him. They're not really good friends anymore anyhow. Kicked him in the mush.
Ooh.
And that was
I hope I know what the mush
Shane.
is. I am from a little down south from you. I hope mush means the same thing, but I'm
the face.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's close.
So, yes, Kevin, we draped Kevin over top of Andy Shane. And yes, we are now the new undisputed tag team champions of the world, Tim.
Holy cow.
Yes. Yes, the Potentate of Hate. We are legitimate. You can't say anything. We did it. We did it, Tim. We are the champions, my friend.
Wow!
Yes.
Congratulations! You were even hobbled. You were even a man down, and our clown down. I should say.
Yeah, and we prevailed. We rose to the occasion. Kevin rose to the occasion, whether he wanted to or not.
Sounds like Kevin just stiffened up and said, "Do your worst."
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Also, Timo, I got to brought into the stable the Great Akuma.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I've managed the Great Akuma on a few occasions over the years. And they brought him back in, which was nice. And it was meant to be. I was wearing red that night, my red nice shirt, and Akuma was wearing red, and it just was meant to be. It came together very nicely there. So, yes, I was able to pick up another wrestler for the stable.
Nice.
So I worked. I ended up doing 3 matches that night.
Oh, wow.
Because Akuma had to do like one match to get into to qualify for another, and we should have won that as well, Timo. We should. Akuma should be the heavyweight champion.
Oh boy,
it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So close, my friend. Yes, but we will. We'll have to regroup and figure that one out.
Now, is that fellow? Is that from your Tanzania days?
No, actually, the Great Akuma's. No, that was when back my tour of the Orient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the Orient?
Yeah, sure. Akuma.
Okay.
Orient.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. Akuma's kind of like the Great Muda.
Oh, gotcha.
Kind of like that.
Does he spit stuff?
Kind of like, yes.
Well,
yes,
no,
sir.
he doesn't really spit stuff. It appears he spits stuff, right?
It's mist, yes.
No, I got you.
Mist.
It's his breath.
Yeah.
It has a little breath problem. I got you.
Little dragon breath never hurt anybody, right? Except maybe a village or two.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So I enjoyed that a lot because I'm a big fan of Muda from back in the day. Love that. So to get to manage a guy similar, plus, I've always been, if you're from the islands, or you're
those one islands,
if you're from the island of Tonga or somewhere like that, and you're painted face, I'm in. That's all I need, So, but yes, thank you, Timo, for asking. It was a great time. Very, very proud. Celebrating since. Yes.
Nice. Well, let's get to what I watched, Mr. Ben Harley. That's very good. Hey, listen, very good. Glad the belt. You got some more belts to keep your trousers up. We need to keep the trousers up.
That's right.
And glad that happened. So onward and upward. 2019 is going to be the year of the Harley and the hate.
That's right.
All right, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's get to what we watched this week.
Yes, sir, Tim.
I got a couple of interesting things for you, Mr. Ben Harley. I've been kind of excited about talking to you about here. So let's see. First up, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see. From 1988, we sat down and watched The Seventh Sign.
Okay.
With Demi or Demi, depending on what decade it is, Moore and Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn.
Or Michael Biehn, depending on, Everybody changes their names, like the pronunciations of their names from decade to decade in Hollywood. I'm tired of Miss Ben Harley. I'm going to put my foot down. Hang on. Ready?
Right.
There it went. My foot just went down. All right. So it should stop. It should stop now. It's kind of a fun movie. It's a biblical apocalyptic movie. I kept thinking when I was watching, I was like, it's kind of sad that Hollywood couldn't make this movie anymore. It's too biblical. Right. I mean, it's too, and it's not a Christian movie. It just takes place in a world where, I don't know, Christianity is a thing. Like accepting it, as it is, kind of like in Star Trek.
How dare you? I'm already offended. Stop.
Right. And I think that there is a problem with that. And I go, but in Star Trek, don't you assume that people fly around spaceships from star system to star system? It's not that big of a deal, I mean, so.
Right.
But, it's a good movie, though. It's an interesting movie, and I kind of like it. And I don't want to say it's been forgotten. But it's not one that, of course, there's no creatures really in or anything, but I'm just saying it's like, not like you see a bunch of people walk around with 7 Sign t-shirts on, starting clubs or anything. So
no.
Not that I'm going to do that either, but anyway, but interesting to watch. It's been a while since I've seen it. Enjoyed it.
I've seen it, but it's been a long time too as well.
Right. Next up, I think we reviewed this. If not, I made a mistake and I shouldn't have watched it. But from 1953, The Neanderthal Man.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we reviewed that. It was quite a while ago. I think that was a double feature, and there might have been something else. Beast of Hollow Mountain. Did we do that too?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we did clear up that disc.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this was the 1953 The Neanderthal Man. Now, here's what's fun about this movie. It's got that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde transformation that we were talking about a couple weeks ago, but man, they do it really good in this one. They do it really good. Unfortunately, they turn him into a monkey, literally like a monkey. Like I was waiting for him to have 2 cymbals in his hands, maybe a string tied to him and a little Italian guy. I'm not really sure. But what's funny about it is that if you, at the very final transformation though, you can totally tell that it was meant to be a different makeup, because in the final transformation, he's no longer a monkey. He turns into he goes from a caveman back to a human, like clearly a caveman, not a monkey. So it was kind of interesting. And the other thing too is it's co-starring Mr. Robert Easton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Robert Easton.
That's right. So I thought you would enjoy that. I was like, he is, Robert Easton. I picked him out, Mr. Ben Hurley. I looked at him, I pointed. I didn't know
handsome himself.
That's right. Talked about this a little bit last week, and I was trying to get you to look at it if you had time. But I did finish up Jack Pierce, the maker of Monsters.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I'm getting ready to start that though.
Okay.
Promise.
All right. Well, it's a little amateurish and over compartmentalized, meaning it's sort of like it's set up. You know how like the old Hulk show, Incredible Hulk show. Yeah. You had your beginning where you got introduced to the villain with a cat hat and a pistol, right? Trying to steal gold or maybe a painting or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you get to where David Banner gets the job at the art gallery, so the painting, and he has to make sure the painting doesn't get stolen. Then the villain tries to steal a painting, and at exactly a half hour into the show, he turns into the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then he turns back, and then we get a little bit more nonsense, and then right before the finale of the show, he turns back into the Hulk. So we get the Hulk twice every week, right?
Yeah.
So that's compartmentalized. Now this documentary is compartmentalized almost the exact same way. You get a little info. Let's see here. You get a little, basically stills with narration. And then you get trailers. So they'll show a trailer for like one of the movies that Jack Pierce worked on, and then jump right back into some narration with some stills over. So it's overly compartmentalized and amateurish, but it is informative. It is informative. So it's not like the worst thing you've ever seen. You're just going to go, God, if somebody really worked hard, like, maybe wasn't quite so, I don't know, compartmentalizing, that maybe they can make it a little more interesting. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, it is what it is. Glad it's there, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's there. So
that's what I like about the Amazon Primes and stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Because it's you're not going to find this on Netflix.
No.
You're not going to find hardly anything that I discussed that I watched this week on Netflix.
No.
I just like the older weird stuff. I don't know. I don't like the stuff that's. It's almost like Netflix is today's, I don't know, Hollywood or something, where you're being spoon-fed things, in a way. Yeah. I think people have almost gotten glued to Netflix like they used to get glued to the television, like the cable television in a way. So I'm saying that, but I'm glued to Amazon Prime, which is just really a cheaper version, and I'm enjoying the cheapness of it. So let's see, Mr. Ben Harley. Okay, so here's the deal. Now I'm gonna have to bust you out, but I'm gonna bust myself. I'm gonna bust you out too. Okay, Angio and I, since we've been talking about this stuff lately, and it's been a while for me, we sat down and watched X-Men First Class from 2011. Okay. And I got to about 15 minutes before the movie was done. I was like, God dang it. Angie was like, what? I was like, I don't think my time in a bottle part is in this one. It's not in this movie. It must be Days of Future Past. And nobody stopped me. Yeah. Mr. Ben Harley didn't stop me and say, no, Timo, I think you're wrong. No, he let me make a buffoon of myself. I'm convinced you were wearing a Western jacket and a fez, and I didn't know it.
I might have been.
You were swerving me. I had no idea. So you let me look like a knucklehead.
Well, then I thought, well, did I miss something? Maybe I missed something when I was watching, and I'm like, well, maybe not. So that's a bad.
No, you need to go to Days of Future Past. It's got to be in that one. It's got to be in that one. But either way, though, Angie and I both, and she likes the comic book movies. I think she actually liked the X-Men series a little bit more because it was sort of it was kind of like in its own universe a little bit. So I think she liked that a little bit more, the old Bryan Singer movies. Yeah. I think she might have dated someone way, way back when, Mr. Ben Harley, before my handsomeness came across her eyeballs. And I think they might have been an X-Men fan. So she had a little exposure to X-Men. Okay. Or whatever. Sure. So I call that old dude nerd.
Nerd. Yeah.
Yes. So we don't want to talk about what she was exposed with me. So, but anyway, so I deserve
exposed to her. Whoa. This is a family show.
Yeah, no, it's not really. It is, but it's a broken family show. So we're fine. Yeah. So I deserve a little nerd humiliation, but here's the thing, Harley. I never claimed to be an expert on these superhero movies or superheroes. I just really enjoy these, and I did get messed up. I know it's there. I know the part is there, so it must be in Days of Future Past. Now, the reason I watch X-Men First Class, Mr. Ben Harley, is because for Christmas, I got a brand new shiny 4K Blu-ray player. Ooh, and I got X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past on 4K disc. Yes. Nice. So I did watch X-Men First Class in 4K. Look good? Yeah, well, my eyes are still trying to collect themselves. Yeah. It looks okay.
They're catching up.
It looks okay. At some point your eye can't detect a whole lot more. And then once you take the 4K and you take all the bells and whistles off of it, it doesn't look that different to me. I'm only going with stuff that's real eye candy or whatever. I'm still happy with Blu-ray. I really am. Anyway, back to X-Men First Class got the seal of approval, even from Angio.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. So now we all need.
I like Kevin Bacon in it a lot.
He's great in it.
Good. Man.
He's great in it.
He's great. Yeah. Good for him.
So now I'm going to complain to you and start harping on you to watch Days of Future Past.
Oh God!
I guess that was the one. So one of them just had a lot more humor in it. It had a lot more humor in it. I think it was that one. Yeah. Good humor. You know what I mean? Like it was really funny. So, all right. Well, moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see here. Oh boy, God, this is okay. I got two more things for you here. All right. First up, now this is you. There is not one chance, not one. I know we have parallel dimensions and things, but this isn't even a parallel dimension possibility that you would even imagine. I watched this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And the poor old Angio, she sat down next to me out in the sunroom, next to our brand new light changing lantern with a raven on it. She's sitting there looking all pretty, almost as pretty as a lantern, Mr. Ben Harley. Almost as pretty. And that's pretty. That's awful pretty.
Did you walk around on Christmas with it a little?
No.
Christmas Eve?
No, I kept everything stationary where it was because it all looked pretty where it was. So we kept that. And Mr. Ben Harley.
If it could make Angie even the slightest bit prettier, I don't know how that could happen.
Right.
But I feel better already. Yeah.
Well, we were so pretty, and I think I might have screwed things up, Mr. Ben Harley. I got the handsome, but I think
you started talking, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I didn't start talking, but you're not going to believe this. So, again, we just talked about Amazon Prime, how you kind of jump into the cheap stuff around there.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the things they do, basically people find these old VHSs, and they transfer them just to digital and upload them. So you still see like the lines and the digital and stuff. So From 1976. Are you sitting down? From 1976, I watched the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Wow. Why? Why?
Well, first of all, I haven't seen it probably since 1976. But here's some guest stars for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donnie and Marie.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
I like Marie
Conway.
a lot. Oh, now you're talking.
Betty White.
I like Betty White.
Betty White. Now, this is going to blow your mind a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Kiss.
Burt Reynolds? Kiss.
Kiss.
Nice.
First television appearance.
Of Kiss, really?
For Kiss on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, Mr. Ben Harley. He did make a Hollywood Squares crack, just want you to know. Okay. So,
I was going to say, yeah, that was his bread and butter for a minute.
All right, now here you go. Now it was a Halloween special, right?
Okay.
So he has his maid or his his whatever, his assistant maid that always helps him. And stuff. And she looked awful familiar to me, Mr. Ben Harley. And I picked out who this lady was, and I thought about Mr. Ben Harley because they went into one scene and who answers the door but Witchy Poo. Witchy Poo answers the door, and I'm thinking, oh, that's great. And that's immediately who I realized who his assistant was, because it was Miss Margaret Hamilton.
Was it really?
And when they met Witchy Poo, she turned into the Wicked Witch of the West and spent the rest of the entire show in her Wicked Witch outfit and everything.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And I know that you got a little soft spot. You get a little melty. Now, I know the witch gets melty too around water, but you get melty around the witch.
Yeah.
And Mr. Ben Harley, it went a step further for you. It went a step further. Now, you made fun of me at very first for watching this. I guarantee after we're done, you're going to be
I'm going to be watching it.
You're going to be pretty sweating. Your top lip will be sweating a little bit watching this. Because not only was Margaret Hamilton in her witch outfit, but your girl Pinky is also in this show.
Yeah, Pinky Duskadero.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the freak out I was warning you about. I told you,
nice.
I got one you won't see coming, and she's in a lot of this show, and she's danced around little outfits and stuff, Mr. Ben Harley. And I think I read her eyes, they twinkled once, and it said, potentate. Potentate. That's right. So on Amazon Prime, Mr. Ben Harley, I know we're out of season. We're out of every season now. I know we're out of season.
Right, yeah.
But just get on the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
I'm going to have to. That sounds quite interesting.
Right. And then Mr. Ben Harley, now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, this is, we are actually recording this on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And this is like, it's not a school day for the O house. So Corey's here, Chance is here. Chance,
be quiet.
Chance will be sleeping almost to where the ball's about ready to drop tonight. So so we usually get going kind of early on the show, but it not being a school night, Mr. Ben Harley had to get irritated because Tim O was a little tired this morning because I'm staying drunk. I woke up, I went to bed drunk. Yeah. I'm drunk right now. I'm going to keep being drunk until it's New Year's Day because that's what Americans do, Mr. Ben Harley. I'm a patriotic American, and I'm getting fucked up.
You're just doing your duty.
That's right. So the reason it was a little late this morning, Mr. Ben Harley, was that Angio and I stayed up till about 2 or 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Watching Jaws.
No.
Yeah, we did.
Jaws?
Jaws.
Was that about a shark?
That's about a shark. We stayed up and watched Jaws.
Nice.
So I knew you'd give me a pass.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. So we were watching, what were we watching last night? I can't remember. And we were finishing something up. And so it got over and I said, well, what do you want to watch? And Angie said, something. And she listens to the show. So she was throwing it back at me. She said, something Jaws-y. Something Jaws-y. So I said, well, what about Jaws? That's Jaws-y. She's like, sure.
That's perfectly Jaws-y. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And what do you think?
Yeah, it was great. It was fun to watch. It was very, very good. Very good fun to watch. So
it's not a bad film.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a great movie. Great movie. So I like, and what we were doing, so we were kind of going through the movies. I was letting her know who all the local actors and actresses were.
Yeah.
Which is most of the cast. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Jeffrey Kramer even a local guy from out there, like an East Coast guy?
I think he was an East Coast guy, for sure. Okay. Yeah, and I liked his character, too. But yeah, it is funny because I don't know, that movie just feels different. and I know it's my favorite movie, blah blah blah, but like I can't say it's the one that I watch all the time. You know what I mean? It's just I love that film, but I don't know, just something different about that movie. It still shocks me to this day, and it's that damn movie. I still think I'm going to get eaten in a pond. And the pond could only be a little pond. And it's still going to get, I'm going to be the one. It's that movie.
Well, isn't that what they call like the little area where the kids are like in the boat, the pond?
Yeah, the pond.
Yeah, that's what they call it. So maybe that could even be a little subconscious thing for you because the big scary part with the kids was in the pond. It wasn't where they were thinking a shark would be.
Yep, exactly. Oh, yeah. Timo.
Oh, that's
I love that movie. It's such a good movie.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm glad you guys watched it.
I am too.
Did you watch it 4K?
Well, we watched on with the new. We watched it with the new 4K player and everything, but it was a regular Blu-ray. But the thing is it looked great. The thing is, the player actually upconverts things to 4K. So I mean, you're going from 1080p to 2K to 4K. Your eyes are at that point, gelled with the screen. It is what it is, but no, it looks, that's a good looking Blu-ray. It's a real good looking Blu-ray. It'll be out in 4K and I might get that one. That's one I might get, but
that's just one of the movies and I consider the Duel a lot like that too, where it's just one of those movies where you feel the film kind of, it's like, and he's Steven Spielberg, but I think after a while his movies lost that feel maybe a little for me, not for everybody else, but
I actually grabbed Duel. Duel was my other thing, but I was thinking, I don't know. Jaws sounds more fun than Duel. Yeah. Duel sounds like I could have gotten maybe another hour's sleep. But I didn't think of it that point.
It's definitely more of a simmer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Slow simmer. Yeah.
Well, that's what I got, Mr. Ben Harley. I thought you'd give me a pass on being up a little late and being a little drunk today for New Year's.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You came through in the pinch there.
There you go. Awesome. So what you got, Mr. Ben Harley? What do you got for us?
Well, Tim, I didn't get to see a whole heck of a lot, a little bit busy with the holidays and things like that. I'm still going through my gangster freak out. I did finish up The Sopranos. Okay. Finally. Finished up. It was 6 seasons.
Wow.
I think the last season.
Christ.
Yeah, the last season there's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Like 21 episodes. I think the other seasons had 16 or whatever, something like that.
When the hell did you watch this?
The Sopranos? When?
Well, I'm just saying that's 6 seasons. No, when? Would you find time to watch a whole
the last
series?
Couple of months. Yeah. Gee well, we try, like Wendy and I will try to watch an episode in the evening. Not every night, but every other night or something like that we'll watch.
Okay.
So, yes, 6 seasons.
All right.
6 seasons of The Sopranos.
Gotcha.
So, listen here, you mook. I'm going to tell you, I've been watching The Sopranos. But okay. It is what it is. It's hard to, on these shows to end these. Like, where are you going to go with it? You might going to like the ending, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I think it kind of went out the way it came in. I still consider it kind of dark comedy of sorts, gangster thing sometimes. So, it was okay. It's all right. I did like it. I could see why. I guess it was kind of a hit. Maybe, but then in a way, I wonder why it was also. So,
right. I can't get through Centennial, and it was only like 18 episodes. We got through about 4 episodes of it and gave up. I can't do it, man. You cannot drag me that long in a story. Ben Harley, if you start babbling and start talking that long about a story, I'm just cutting you off.
Oh, I know.
That's all there is to it. I can't.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. No, that's just impressive. That was. Whew. Yeah, to watch all that. Yeah. Well, you got through it.
I got through it, my friend. Yeah.
Are you a made man
I'm
now?
Still alive. I think so. Right. I keep looking over my shoulder. I'll make sure.
Good. Okay.
And I got a guy that stands out in front with glasses, shakes people down when they come in now. So
undersized shirt and a sports coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gold chains and a watch.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Sticking with the gangster vibe. Yes, we watched Scarface the other night too.
Oh, okay.
I still have some of these movies that I got when we first got DirecTV again, that I taped in my first 3 months. So Scarface was one of them. So Wendy and I watched that. Yeah. So we watched it. I don't know. I think she'd sort of seen it before. She kind of loosely remembers some of it, So I don't know if she liked it a whole heck of a lot, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's not one of your favorites.
It's awkward, man. It's an awkward movie.
It kind of, I will say, watching it this time was nowhere near as grandiose for me, but that happens a lot now with me on these movies because I know a little bit about making movies, a little bit about sleight of hand and what you're trying to do, and plus two, most movies that we watch are 3 hours long, half of them anymore, 2 hours and some odd long. So this doesn't seem as long as it used to me because almost every movie that comes out is so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I still do enjoy it. I think it's an okay film. I don't see why it was. No, I do see why. I guess certain people have taken it and you ran with it, like rap culture. And
it's
other
a cult
things
movie.
Too.
Yeah, it's a cult. Exactly. It's a totally a cult movie.
Yeah.
His performance, Pacino's performance in it, you either love it or you hate it. Either love it or you hate it, and I can't love it. And that's, I think, the problem. And I do not like Stephen Bauer. I can't stand Stephen Bauer. So there's like two strikes, and I don't like Michelle Pfeiffer. So there's so many things.
Ugly person.
Well, there's so many things. Okay, well, you tell me you like her in that dance scene between her and Al Pacino, and that
I don't mind her.
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Goofy.
I didn't know if they were dancing or if they were trying to wash windows. I have no idea what's going on in that, but I do remember the first time I watched it. I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a hard time getting over Pacino's accent. That was the first time. I mean, this is the first time I saw it. I only heard of it. I didn't know anything about it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get over that, and then the whole thing with I don't like the Miami. It's not. I don't want to say I don't like Miami. I don't like that style. I don't like that beach type Magnum PI looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it. I don't like Miami Vice. I can't stand the white suits and you know what I'm saying, and everything. I just don't. No. It's not pleasing to my eyes at all. It's not aesthetically pleasing to me at all. I can't stand it. So there's all these things going against it. And then I got to that scene where they were in the club dancing. And had I had people around me when I was watching it, I would have been looking around going, you seeing this, right? Like, this is on screen, right? This is Scarface. This is this movie. I just didn't get it. And I have it on Blu-ray. Ben Harley, I have the script.
Yeah.
I have the script for the film. My brother got it for me for Christmas one year. And I appreciate it. I mean, I love having it. As a movie collector, it's great.
Yeah.
And everything. I just watched the movie and I'm like, the hell is wrong with this? And I love Brian De Palma too, the director. I everything. There's like love and hate going on big time in this movie. I think if Pacino,
well, there was some hate going on with Oliver Stone, where they had to like ban him from the set.
Yeah,
Well, it was supposed to be set. He wanted it set in the same time period as the old gangsters, the original.
I like the original Scarface. Yes. So I think that I'm with Oliver Stone on this one.
I don't know, Timo. I like that time period, but I think it might have just been then another remake, kind of,
Yeah.
Which this is too. Mm-hmm. It is, right? I mean,
sort of.
I think that time period with what was going on, and that's what scared me about this movie, because I kind of loosely knew about these things, and I was young. Right. But, when I was 12, 13 years old, that was scary to me. And I understand what you're saying, because I wasn't a Miami Vice fan by any means. And it's funny because I do like bright colors and things like that, but I'm more of a mod color guy, I guess. And so, but I always had a fascination with that. Miami and Florida and wanting to live there.
Really? Okay. So that's opposite of me. Yeah.
Well, I've been there and I'm not sure I would want to live there now.
Right.
Who knows? I want to be somewhere tropical. I do. I really do. I don't know that I want to all the time though. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's just me. I want to be by water, a body of water somewhere.
I got a bathtub if you want.
But, Well, yeah, me too, but it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Close.
I got a glass of water. I usually sit by a glass of water.
Right. Just get a dog and get a water bowl and put it down. Then you're going to live in extra water. You're fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
But no, I get you, buddy. I get you. I was shocked as a kid when the scene that shocked me the most is the chainsaw scene. And then not just that, but when they go outside, the guy's trying to get away and he goes out and he chases the guy down in broad daylight. And there's all the old folks and all the blue hairs and what do they call them? The snowbirds and all that sitting around. And here he comes and he shoots the guy. I was like, as a kid, it shocked the hell out of me. I didn't, I'd seen some gangster movies up until then, but nothing quite like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was shocking to me like that type. And well, the gangster stuff always has shocked me. It does. I just don't, type of stuff you don't want to be involved in or look at or be anywhere near because your life means nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
But then again, I've never really had a fascination with it either. Like I'm not, I like The Untouchables. It's a great movie, and stuff like that.
That's another Brian De Palma movie. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
But see, that's the thing. I love like, that movie, and that's taken place.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Goodfellas.
I love that movie too. Yep.
But it was fun to go back and watch it. I probably won't watch it for a whole another maybe decade or two.
Sure. So. Right.
But it was kind of cool to watch. So,
gotcha.
But yes, that is it, my friend.
Okay.
Nothing too horror related.
Right. Well, let's get to our official little films, Mr. Ben Harley.
All right, Timo.
Let's start.
Lay it on me.
Let's start from 1990. How about that?
Okay.
From 1990, we have the movie Shadowzone.
Shadowzone. Okay.
Shadowzone. Let me give you a plot summary, a synopsis here, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Get out, movie guy. And here we go. Scientists experiment with extreme dream sleep and find a parallel dimension. Now they find the door works both ways and something has come through. All right.
Well, that explains a lot more than the movie did to me.
Well, look, okay. From 1990, let's start with this. This is a full moon movie.
Okay.
Okay. So we know that's Charles Band and blah, blah, all this stuff. Now, this is a full moon movie back when there was a possibility you were going to see something kind of cool. You might see something kind of cool. Something you might have a subspecies moment. Yeah. Where you're like, this is an awful film, but compared to any other choices I've got right now, I'm in. Something in it is good. There's a performance that's good. Maybe the effects are good. The sets are good. And some of it's not good, basically, or whatever. I always thought this movie was the Gone with the Wind of direct-to-video subterranean research center movies. Now, I started with the direct-to-video. So we're talking about the terror within and things like that. I always thought that this was like, it's at least mildly interesting. A little bit I guess in the beginning, it does take you on a story. Okay.
Yes.
And it does have a good cast. It does have a good cast. It has Louise Fletcher, our old Nurse Ratched.
Nurse Ratched is I get uneasy just when she's on screen.
Right.
I do.
All right.
Great. She's great at what she does, man.
Absolutely. We have an ex girlfriend of mine, Sean Weatherly, from Police Academy and My Adolescent Dreams. If you remember those. Yes. They turned those into a whole industry when VHS came out. Okay, so we had Miguel Nunez Jr. played Wiley, and he was Spider from Eternal Living Dead.
Yeah, I had a smoke with him once.
yeah, all right.
One of the horror hounds. Yeah.
Right. Let's see here. And we have a David Beecroft as our Harold Handsome Pants.
Harold Handsome Pants.
He is known for Shadowzone. He was in Falcon Crest and a couple other things too.
Falcon Crest, yeah.
So we got Beecroft in there. Let's see here. And of course, now I'm not so sure when they were writing the script that they quite had James Hong in mind for the role of Dr. Van Fleet. If that is your real name.
Real name, right.
Yeah, the old Chinese lineage of Van Fleets. right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And directed by J.S. Cardone. He did the Slayer, which we did quite a while ago or whatever. So there's just a little background. There's a little bit of a cast in there. But this is like, I don't know if it's technically underground or not. I can't remember, but it is a research station that is isolated, and they are working with dream states. So they have two hotties that are, I guess, in comas. In tubes, completely stark naked. And they're experimenting with the dreams, and somehow it's causing a portal to a different direction that allows a, I guess, malevolent entity to come into our realm, which takes the form of the fears of the characters, more or less. Yeah.
Now, why did they have to be naked, Timo? Was there any explanation? I mean, I was quite happy.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There you go. That's it. I mean, what else? I mean,
right.
Let's just be honest, Mr. Ben Harley. In 1990, if that was your test subject, and you wanted to cut budgets, you had to cut the budget. I mean, did you need to put the paper smock over, or just let her lay there?
Just let her lay there.
Let her lay there. Yeah. So keep you company, Mr. Ben Harley. Keep you company.
Yeah. Well, she was very chesty.
She was chesty.
She was very healthy and chesty.
So, but there's two nude models basically laying there, and they are the gateways, the doorways to another dimension by which John Doe gets let in, which is the entity from another portal. That's really about what we got going on here.
Yeah,
I mean that's it. And then it kind of, once you figure that out, this movie it suffers from a cumbersome pace.
Yeah, it's very clumsy. I don't know. Excuse me, Tim. It has all your subterranean cast, and you have your crazy guy who runs the, who's kind of like the caretaker of the place,
right.
And you got your crazy cook lady,
Oh yeah,
and
handsome, and
so so it has all the elements of all these movies that we like,
right.
Right. And
it was early on. This is 1990, so it was a little, at least in the middle of all that.
Yeah. And but I don't know. It was lacking something for me. I just couldn't really put my finger on it. And the acting was good, I thought, all around. But it just, I don't know. It's just. Now, the monster to me, or different versions of the monster, I guess, there was one that threw me way off, and that was it. I guess that took me right off the rails. Now, there's one, and I think it was it Dr. Wong, or whatever it was? Dr.
Van Fleet.
Van Fleet.
James
Wong.
Hong. James,
yeah.
So it was, it was Yamaguchi Van Fleet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Now, do believe was when he was going, and it was almost like an Alien ripoff. Exactly, like he's going down, and they're trying to, where you're going, and it's over here, and walk this way, and I don't see anything. And then when he sees it, I do believe it like a prom queen looking monster with that looked like something off of HR Puffin stuff, and I just
right.
I rewound it and I went back and I was like, what? And I was like, oh man. And it took the rest of it just really took the wind out of my sails. Like, oh man. So the rest of it just didn't really do as much for me. I mean, I don't know. There's some interesting stuff, I guess, in it. And like I said, the acting really was good. So that kind of held the rest of it together. But at that point, I'm like, what am I waiting to see? And I just didn't, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. In my opinion, this is pretty common for full moon movies. They get an idea. It's a pretty good idea. It's almost like they are a really great version of The Asylum in a way.
Yeah.
And they made some interesting movies. As a matter of fact, the further back you go, kind of the better they are, of course. It always seems like there's something missing. With this movie, I think it might be a better editor and about $500,000. And I mean, really, that's about what I'm thinking. And
thanks.
I
appreciate that. Tim.
Yeah, I think that this is something that I think the movies from 1990 in this era suffer from. It's the lighting. Remember, I keep talking about the lighting. It's like everything is lit kind of like hazy bright, and there's no shadows really. Even though the movie's called Shadowzone, you don't get the shadows you got when you see The Thing. there's a lot of contrast, and there's a lot of dark spots and corners and shadows and things that are in the research station.
And it makes you scared, or it's scary.
Right. And it just feels a little more tight. Like you're in on the characters, and it's really making you feel like claustrophobic feeling. This is just like, you know, we're gonna get an old warehouse and put a few boxes around in a couple hallways, and make it look old and dank, and that's gonna be good enough for you. We're gonna light it real harsh. Yeah. And then we're going to, you know, and the lighting in the tube with the young lady that was being used as an experiment, I liked that lighting. That was good. But the lighting over the dude's tube could have been turned off, or they could have written him out of the movie. Yeah. Would have been fine like that, because just being honest, I was like, look, I know this is a double standard, but get the dude out of here. And they did. They blew his head up, so we're good. Yeah, they did. I was rooting for the movie when the guy's head blew up, so we only had no girl to worry about at that point. So that's just my my irrational, chauvinistic, whoosama fudge, whatever. But I do agree. And look, the makeup effects was done by Mark Shostrom. He worked on Evil Dead 2. Okay. And they're not that bad. I mean, some of that stuff isn't. No, I mean, it's quick. It was odd. Odd. It's quick and cheap. You could tell, but it was done with an assured hand. It was done with people who knew what they were doing. So that everything was fine. Like I said, I think $500,000 and a better editor and different lighting. But the lighting, this reminds me a lot of, and does it not remind you of The Terror Within, where it's. Yeah. It's just a slow, like, okay, I didn't need to see the main character walk down the whole hallway. No. I don't need it padded out. And the movie isn't like super short or anything. No. They could have cut some stuff out, but I think a lot of times these guys are going for 90 minutes. They wanted a 90-minute film, and that's what was going to make them seem a little bit more legit. Yeah. I guess. To me, it just slows the movie down. But like you said, the cast is good, the acting is good, so it's a lot better than The Terror Within, I think. Yeah, it is. But it's still not a great movie at all. But I will tell you one thing. When this came out, I did think this was pretty good. In 1990, remember, when this came out, remember 1990? Mm-hmm. You know, and this was a made-for-video. And I think I might have seen this on Cinemax or something the first time, but just VHS taped it off that. And I thought it was okay. I thought the cast was good. I really liked Sean Weatherly a lot. I liked the girl in the tube, of course, because I was about 18 or so around that time. So I really liked the girl in the tube and everything. She knows how to fill up a tube. She sure does. She fills a few things, but it certainly has not held up, to say the least. And I think this is the problem with a lot of these made-for-video movies and like the full moon movies and stuff like that. It's hard for them to hold up, because anything you could forgive back then is not as easily forgivable today, I don't think. Yeah. As far as like the pacing and stuff like that. Yeah, I just think it needed more, like, for me, Timo, either more monster or more dread or something, because even when they were trying to drum up some tension, there was just no payoff for it. Right. Okay. That's a good way of putting it. Two people in a tube. There's two people in a tube, and I'm not that. I mean, give me Dreamscape, man. Dreamscape had me a little bit more on it, you know, if we're talking that stuff. But like, I don't know. It just, I don't know, felt real flat for me. Okay. Let me ask you a question, because I have an issue with this, and maybe it's a good way of articulating how you feel. And I could be wrong. So you tell me. I'm going to throw this out there because how I feel anyway. Right. So I have, not unlike I have a problem with Descents into Madness and psycho thrillers and stuff. I also have a problem when the main, quote, creature is a disembodied abstract idea that just takes the forms of people's fears. Not unlike the movie It, the story It. I do have a problem, but at least you had a clown to grab onto. Sure. Everything I just said sounds really weird taken out of context, you know. At least I have a clown to grab onto. You know, Kevin's like, get off me, man. What the hell? But what I'm saying, though, is that if it had like a base monster, like the thing has, even though the thing changes a lot, it's still a mass, a physical mass that keeps changing and keeps doing things, you know. And in this film, it really is almost like a ghost that's taking the form of I do have a hard time with it, because you're going to get one fear that you like a monster type fear, a creature type thing, and then you're going to get somebody in a prom dress.
Yeah, that I didn't understand. I didn't know if I was seeing things.
Well, maybe it was showing you your fears. Maybe the movie was showing you your fears. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it, Timo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, and
there wasn't enough for me in this film, except for Tube Girl.
Yeah,
to grab onto.
Yeah, well, I like Tube Girl and Sean Weatherly, but they kind of kept Sean Weatherly hidden in the lidded shadows a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
The other thing too is they had some good ideas. Like they had the computer screen where they had the room under surveillance, and they had like the little computer blip that was showing you where the entity was in the room.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even do that right. I mean, they couldn't even make that suspenseful. So that was kind of like, So I think there's a lot of good ideas here. I think in 1990, this movie served its purpose really well. But I think as time goes on, it just slowed so far down. And it didn't have enough interesting stuff in the first place to pad this whole thing out. This could have been like a 45-minute movie.
Right.
And I think it would have been actually fairly decent or whatever. But again, with a bigger budget, a better editor, the script wasn't that bad. I don't think the script called for someone to walk down a hall for 5 minutes. So, so I don't think it was that bad. I think, like I said, editing and padding and stuff like that. So, yeah, I didn't think I was going to do this. Buddy. I didn't think I was going to do this, Mr. Ben Harley, before I watched the movie. But I haven't seen it for years and years and years and years. But getting back into it, I think I'm going to on the movie. What do you think?
I think I'm going to have to with you.
Yikes. That was a meaty one. Don't like the meaty ones.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. No fun.
I was a little disappointed. Little disappointed. A little disappointed in it. So, especially seeing it before. But, hey, that's why we're going back and doing these things.
That's right. Hey.
We are protecting our audience from things not holding up, I suppose. I don't know what we're protecting you from.
Now, if you like girls in tubes, this is your movie.
well, we're protecting you from that and good taste. I guess, So, but girls in tubes are like little twin girls that have Mothra flying around.
Yeah,
I'll take one.
I prefer when the tubes are standing up and they're dancing around them to go-go music.
Right. I'm pretty sure when we were watching, I did look over to Angie and go, "Hey, why can't I have a chick in a tube? You've been holding me back long enough."
Yeah, we got enough room in the basement.
We're married. I'm not dead. So all right, moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Let's see. From 1940, next movie, 1940, we have The Invisible Man Returns.
The Invisible Man Returns,
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
He's back. He's
That's
hard
right.
to see still. He's back.
That's right. He's a little transparent. Let me get you a movie guy out here and give you a storyline synopsis, storyline summary, whatever you want to call it, for The Invisible Man Returns. Right. Here we go.
Yeah.
The owner of a coal mining operation, falsely imprisoned for fratricide, takes a drug to make him invisible. Despite its side effect, gradual madness. All right, gradual madness.
We're on a descent into madness trip.
Okay, let's see here, Mr. Ben Harley. We have the cast. A pretty okay cast here. Let's see. We got Cedric Hardwicke as Richard Cobb. Who is the kind of the squirrely fella in the movie. And then Mr. Vincent Price has the honor of playing the Invisible Man in this film. Now, of course, this isn't the same character as Claude Rains. It's not the same. That guy died. So this is the serum injected into a different person in order to allow him to escape from prison because he was falsely accused of killing someone. So his scientist buddy helps him escape from prison by injecting him with the now you see me, now you don't serum. Let's see. And played by John Sutton.
But he's working on the serum to bring him back.
Yes, so he wants to work on the serum to bring him back so that they can prove him innocent. So, it's a noble cause if you want to break every law in the land and break people out of prison, I guess. We got old Cecil Kellaway, who played Samson, played the cop, the old cantankerous cop guy, the old funny guy from I Married a Witch and and Harvey and Postman Always Rings Twice. I like me Cecil Kellaway. Just like I do like him. And then the real crap guy in the movie, the snively whiplash guy, Willie Spears. You know who that was, right?
Yeah, that was Alan Napier.
Yes.
Old Alfred.
Yes,
Good
sir. Alan Napier. I hope you...
Because it was funny because I kept thinking, all right, I'm waiting for him. Where is he? And I'm like, oh, shit. Here he is. I was like... There a couple people looked a little mildly like him before he showed up, and I'm like, nope, there's Alan Napier.
Right.
It's good though. He played a cool, little, funny little character.
Oh yeah. He was a weasel. Yeah, he was a weasel. So
drunken weasel.
So basically, Vincent Price was wrongly convicted. He's on death row, and he gets the flex tape serum from Doctor Dapper Dan, and he's clear. You can see it in water. Yeah, the old flex seal. Yeah, you can see right through him. And then it's a race against time to restore his visibility before he goes absolutely batshit crazy. Because they do know that, yes, they do know that a side effect is gradual madness, as the story summary told us. So yeah, it's now. Here's the thing: I haven't seen this in a long time. Now I've seen it. I didn't know if I'd seen it before. As soon as I started watching, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this. But let me tell you,
since I was a kid,
it's been a little while. It's been a little while for me. Yeah. I was impressed how the story was well written, good script.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. It was a worthy nomination, but it was nominated for best effects.
Really?
I thought it's got great effects
in
the movie. When Cecil Kellaway blows the cigar smoke off to the side to see if he's standing there, you can see the outline of Vincent Price's face.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That works today, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I thought it was actually, whereas Shadowzone was surprisingly disappointing. This was kind of surprisingly good.
It's not bad. I kind of like the way it starts too. Mm-hmm. And I actually feel bad for the two prison guards because the way he disappears, he's just gone. You know what I mean? Like, and how do you explain that? And these poor guys, they're trying to explain what happened, you know, like,
right.
And how do you know? So for me, the movie got going pretty good and quick, you know. And I liked the way he looked all bandaged up. And I thought they used that pretty well in this film. And I think it also added to the creepiness and the madness, you know. Mm-hmm. But there were some parts that I was kind of shocked by, too. Like, he does flee to they have like a house out in kind of way out
in the boonies.
Yeah. And it's funny that the dog does not like it when he shows up. The dog won't stop barking, which I thought added a little bit to it. Mm-hmm. And you can see how he starts to unravel. Pun intended. Yeah, you know. It's funny because he's like, get rid of the dog, you know, because he's like, the dog's gonna bring someone here. They're gonna know I'm here, you know, and he's real paranoid. And they're like, no, there's no one here forever. But they finally do take the dog away. Mm-hmm. But, of course, the police show up, right? And I thought that scene was kind of good, too, because the police show up and the caretaker of the house is trying to get him not to come in, you know. He's trying everything. But here I'm thinking, well, he's going to go ahead and take the bandages off and you know, and so when the cop comes up, but no, he doesn't. And so when the cop comes in and sees that, he's like, wait a second, you know, runs to go call the other police.
Right.
You know, there were certain things in the film that threw me off that I didn't expect.
Right.
That I really, from watching tons of these old films, there's kind of a formula.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I don't think it followed a lot of that stuff.
No.
Which I appreciated a lot. Like, there's scenes where he comes to see his friend who's working on the serum. Mm-hmm. And he just goes in, like, you know, opens doors or knocks on the door. Like, there's the receptionist sitting right there. He doesn't care. Like, so I just thought there was Vincent Price's character, invisible or not, was a little bit different too, you know, in this one as well. And I thought it added to the movie a little bit, I guess.
I agree with you. I didn't think Vincent Price's character or his performance at least was near as good as Claude Rains.
No.
But it's a different character. It is a different character.
Different person.
It's a different person, different character. I was struggling because I love The Invisible Man. I love The Invisible Man. I was kind of struggling thinking, I think this with the exception of Claude Rains, which is the linchpin. That's it.
Yeah.
This is never going to be as good as that because of that. And I do like Vincent Price. He's a St. Louis boy like I am. That's fine, but he's no Claude Rains. And I think the movie might actually be a little better. This one.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit better of a story. Maybe not better is the right word, but surprisingly on par.
Yeah.
With the original. I think it might be missing. Well, I know it is. James Whale's directing. And a couple of other things, but yeah, God, the story is good, and some of the casting really does help. But Cecil Kellaway, I personally think pulls this movie through. I really do as the older cop guy, and I do like adding Alan Napier's character, Willie Spears. Yeah, adding his character, I think adds another dimension, and also the fact that the way it's not just, okay, it's what I like about it. It's not just a guy going crazy going, I found a way to become invisible. No, this guy became invisible for a reason, and he doesn't want to stay invisible. It's not like he cares about being invisible. He just wants to get out of prison and prove his innocence before he is executed.
Yeah.
And he's trying to battle going mad while he's doing it. And
he does.
He does. And, they still rip that plot line off today.
Yeah.
They still rip a very similar plot line. And I was just really taken back by how much I enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. And I'm almost speechless because like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it. Never been real interested in the Invisible Man sequels because a couple of them, like the next one's the Invisible Woman and then the Invisible Agent. Okay, well, I'm sure those are gimmicky invisible movies, and I'm sure there's some
the Invisible Agent.
I'm sure there's some hourglass figures on somehow with the invisibility with the woman and stuff, which I hope so. I like that. But
we're doing that next.
You've got it. You can watch whenever you want. But the next one that sounds interesting is the Invisible Man's Revenge.
Yeah.
Because then they have the Invisible Agent, which is more of a World War II kind of spy movie where they with the invisible. No, I'm not that interested in it. Not that I don't want to watch it or it's a bad movie. It's just not.
Sure.
If I'm thinking about our podcast, I'm not thinking about reviewing it because they don't sound like horror films.
Right.
They just don't sound. It's like more like gimmick films, which is fine. We do those too. But I'm just really shocked. I'm really impressed with this movie. It's a really big Great Bape Up. It's a huge Great Bape Up for me, actually.
Okay. I'm going to give it a mild Great Bape Up, Tim. I did enjoy it. I thought I liked the story, and I liked how he did kind of start out more just trying to do the right thing, and his wife was helping, or was that his wife? It was his wife, wasn't it? Or girlfriend? I can't remember if it was his wife or if it was his girlfriend. Either way, it's fiance or something. Yeah, fiance, I think it was. Yeah, and so I enjoyed that, and I did like how he kind of got more and more self-centered, to the point where like, he was almost like becoming a little Napoleon. He had some Napoleon stuff going, but that's okay. It was part of the, he's going mad. So,
right.
But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I thought the effects were really cool. A lot of them were really good. And
how about when he's turning back into visible, when he's coming back visible and they have like the veins and everything going? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cause muscle.
Yeah.
You see,
yeah, that was really nice. Good. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, the old black and white lends well to that,
Right.
But yeah, we have it a mild Great Bape Up. I did enjoy it. And, glad you watched it, man.
Well, I think the only thing that to me makes it, James Whale and no Claude Rains. Those are the two things that are making it not on equal footing complete with the first one. But I honestly, man, I'm really surprised because I thought I might like it, but I didn't think I would really, really like it. And I really, really liked it. And I was kind of impressed by that. But, it's not right there, but it's just a notch below the original Invisible Man. And on some levels, it's better. On some levels, to me, I think it's more of a fleshed out story and stuff, and it's a little less stagey, things like that. But the only thing is Vincent Price when he starts going bonkers. I did think he chews the scenery a little bit. He goes a little over the top. That kind of like pulled me out of it every now and then because he does get a little too A little too goofy. Yeah, a little too goofy. So, but all right. So you're going to give a mild grape ape up. I'm going to give a big grape ape up. So to The Invisible Man Returns, and I think we're both on Shadowzone.
Yeah.
You know, when it came out, it was a decent full moon movie, but this is not one of those movies that I don't think really held up, and it's just too drawn out. So,
stinks.
or it stinks, depending on what point of view you're coming from. So, all right, Mr. Ben Harley, I don't know what we're doing next week, but I can guarantee you one thing. It will occur. It will happen.
Be riveting.
It will be riveting. It will be exciting. And it will be in the future.
Yeah, with our flying car. We'll report to you back from our flying car.
By the time it goes up, we might have flying cars. We get so behind in these shows. So, all right, we're doing our New Year's show, and we're doing it on the 4th of July. How did that happen? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a leap of logic, and it really goes to show, Mr. Ben Harley, we are true professionals, that we can put ourselves... It's acting, Mr. Ben Harley. Acting.
Yes. We are actors.
We are radio actors, right?
Yeah.
We could have been on The Shadow, I'm telling you. Anyway, I don't know the hell I'm talking about anymore. Mr. Ben Harley, let's get the hell out of here. Until next week, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Timo and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.
Free,